Why, hello there! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333 and welcome back to Let's Find 4, Kaiserreich as Poland. Now, last video we started recovering a little bit after the end of Black Friday, working on floating over zloty currency. And we're gonna go ahead to and try probably doing status approaches and try to stay as non-dependent on the Germans as we can. There's also this thing about the all of this stuff, which seems interesting. I don't know if I need to do any of that, really. Especially when we got options like modernizing the urban infrastructure. There's that, which could be interesting potentially, but I don't know. There's a lot of infrastructure stuff that we should probably catch up on. Where's those left behind? Ooh, yeah, we might want to rush down so we get that boost of research speed coming up. But yeah, we got time to get working on stuff. Democratic Coalition in Algiers, interesting. I believe, yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and acquire some more foreign assets. And that should go ahead and give us some extra control. And then we can get working on focuses like nationalizing the bank and doing the statist approach. We won't be able to do that for a while. Which makes me think maybe we should do... Ooh. The royal authorities have generally kept the opposition newspapers under close watch. Many radical papers, such as Socialist Oblicha Dnia and Robotnik, have been banned multiple times due to their failure to comply with censorship laws. Even more spurious publications remain unaccounted for. Lately, even the less openly radical newspapers started publishing texts questioning our alliance with the German Empire, and are calling for increased liberalization. We could take a harsher stance and quell even this critique, though it would carry the risk of pushing the Republicans further towards radicalism. Close the prince. Actually, I don't want to take another stability hit. I'll just let them rabble. On the warm summer 9th of the 22nd of June, underarmed men arrived to the small town of Myslenci. They got the telephone lines and took control of the police depot under the cover of darkness, and then turned towards the real goal, the sizable Jewish settlement. Jewish shops were raided and plundered, and their entire inventories burned in the town square. Even the synagogue was set on fire, and the militiamen beat the Jews who tried to oppose them. They were acting under the orders of Adam Dobosnitsky, a national democracy advocate, activist of merely 22 years of age. The raid of Milesny would make him a hero of the Polish far right, a man who was not afraid to do what he considered right. After ransacking through the Jewish properties, Dobosnitsky's men fled to a nearby forest, leaving a burning and scarred Milesny behind. Multiple police units were dispatched immediately and clashed with the raiders multiple times during the days-long ride toward the Bohemian border. Most of them did not make it, and one particularly harsh flight with the Galician cavalry cracked Dobosnitsky's troops. Over half of them were arrested. Dobosnitsky himself was involved in a shoot of Hungarian border guards, but escaped nonetheless. Radicals like him are a threat to the nation. On that I can agree upon. Australasia rejoins the Entente, it would seem, and we're not able to do anything on this right now, but that's... okay. What do we want to do? Forts might be a necessary idea, honestly. So that's interesting. Looks like, depending on who we end up going with, we might end up having to do it. Depending on who we do, we're gonna get a couple of these options. That is very interesting. Okay, huh. This will decrease Polish influence, which will prevent us from doing these, so I'll hold off on doing that if we even want to do those. Of course. I'll do military research and education institutes. The advanced equipment required for modern warfare requires genuine innovation and funding in order to bring it into reality. Because of this, the government will order the creation of a body to organize military research and to ensure resources are directed towards the right projects. This would also be responsible for assigning funding to police projects that would struggle otherwise. Ooh. Nationalists in Finland. Never a good thing to see. Peculiar. What do we have here? Also, what happened? Okay, we do have the necessary. We can get working on this eventually, but not now. Secret activist organizations have plagued the Kingdom of Poland since its inception, as many of these conspiring groups have already been established during Russian rule. While the state police have been working tirelessly to capture the anti-monarchist radicals, we had no idea about the true scale of the problem. The series of events started to unfold when the Austrian secret police raided a small bank. The Unitary Bank of Krakow was accused of money laundering for criminals, but the documents unearthed was massively more incriminating. The bank was used as a front for funding anti-monarchist activities in the Kingdom of Poland, and the police even managed to capture their entire archive transactions, full of sums and names. According to them, hundreds of thousands of marks have been run through the bank, disguised as business transactions. The money had come from not only other Galician banks, but Russian and Swiss institutions were also prominent. What was more shocking than the scale, almost the entire Polish political establishment is incriminated. Large donations have been covertly made to the PPS and PSL line organizations and trade unions, chief among them the ZZZ. Russian money especially has gone to numerous senators and SEM delegations from the Chechen and even the MKP. A large amount cannot be traced at all, but it seems that thousands of people and organizations in Poland have received funding to oppose the monarchy and propagate propaganda, including our own coalition partners. The issue is delicate and urgent. The Special National Committee of Safety, or KON, has been founded to work under Minister Felician Slavov-Shledkovsky's leadership. An ardent anti-socialist and military man, Shledkovsky is expected to get the bottom of Poland's rotting underground in no time. This must be thoroughly investigated. So we have some investigations we need to do. And depending on how they go, we get a spirit, I believe. Which will be interesting. Not entirely sure how that works. Polish security forces have always had close cooperation with their colleagues in Germany. The Abteilung, the military intelligence agency of Imperial Germany, has offered to help KON, the Polish police, in our large-scale investigations after the dramatic revelations from Krakow documents. While unpopular for nationalists, the Abteilung's involvement would give us the resources needed to find all the conspirators. I think I'll take that. Actually, we're going to acquire some more assets coming soon enough, so we'll be pretty well set up. In the meanwhile, we'll get working on personal radios. Having the being in the Kaiser Wilhelm Society is very nice, I gotta say. Gives us a decent little tech boost. Oop. There's angry Mussolini man. The left KMT has capitulated. Interesting indeed. We'll do the status approach. Many would rather sell our economy for an interest and misguided attempt to bring in more money, ignoring the fundamental issues with easing our fiscal stability in the hands of other nations, which actually recover from the crash. We must stimulate the economy for our citizens. By encouraging domestic spending and trade, we can restart the fundamentals of our economy rather than rely on some vague hope of recovery trickling in from Berlin. Speaking of investigations... Let's investigate, I guess, the officer corps. Might be something there. It's worth at least investigating. Checking out the new content. I don't know if it'll get us anywhere, but if it does, worthwhile. Olympics in Dublin. A lot of stuff going on. Bulgaria's having some misadventures. There has been yet another surge of membership in anti-monarchist organizations, especially in the League of Polish Statehood, which advocates a hard break from Germany and a union with Austro-Galicia. Feeding on the poor situation in Poland, no doubt with discreet help from Austria herself, groups like them are openly critical of the king, and many of their newspapers need to be continuously censored to cull out the more radical parts. These so-called Republicans have convinced many of the need for revolution, one that would throw away the civilized order and sell our nation to the Austrians. We must do our best to convince them otherwise. Isn't one Poland enough for Vienna? Perhaps not. How's it going in White Ruthenia? Our southern borders proved to be tiresome to manage, as the population on both sides are often sympathetic towards the Republican cause. It is especially the gospel of peasants' liberation by the Republicans. It's not rare for us to find PSL activists bringing all kinds of contraband in our kingdom over the border. Political pamphlets, books printed in Krakow, funds, and even known anti-monarchist agitators who have periodically escaped to Galicia. It's quite possible that the Danubian authorities are actively turning a blind eye on such actions, but we cannot prove anything. We'll demand them to do something, I guess. I don't think I care if they do or do not, but we gotta keep up appearances, you know. I think I want to do dispersed industry, because I have a feeling we might get our ship bombed, potentially. The Lvov government did not appear to be too interested or even aware of the border issues. They promised to do everything to stop the criminal activities, naturally, but it was very clear that they do not intend to do much. Perhaps this should have been expected. Galicians do not, no doubt, actively support the radicals, wishing to stabilize our kingdom for their own selfish gains. The cursed false Poles. Yeah, I will go ahead and nationalize the Bank of Poland from here. In the eyes of many, this crash has shown the perils of tying our economy to great powers, which always put their interests above ours. Because of this, many want us to begin pursuing a more independent fiscal policy, something that they believe will help keep us insulated from further instability. This move will not come without consequences, however, as it will be a lot harder to raise capital without the vast reserves of Berlin and Vienna. So Republican support is at 54% actually, which is impressive. Despite our best efforts, the Polish officer corps stood as a citadel of Pilsudskite sympathies. This is perfectly understandable, as most men hold him in very high regard. Many of them fought and risked their lives with him, and had dedicated their entire use to Pilsudski's vision of a free Poland. Some more fanatic Pilsudskites, such as Edward Rydz Smigly, were not allowed to return to the army, but a large majority of the older officers at least admired Pilsudski. A certain amount of respect towards Pilsudski is perfectly warranted, as long as it did not conflict with the army's primary duty, safeguarding the Kingdom of Poland. The worrying part is that many of these officers still hold sympathies towards the Republicans and any other political factions who work with Pilsudski. It's not caused any issues thus far, but more pro-German voices in the army have always worried for the loyalties of Pilsudskites should it come to war. Let's focus on lower profile officers. Thanks to our mole inside a Polish-Ukrainian smuggling network, the Lublin network, or police, managed to successfully intercept a major drug shipment before it could be transferred further east. This so-called Great Eastern Route runs straight through Poland, taking advantage of Iraq's borders customs inside Middle Europa, and the difficulty for the police of different countries to cooperate. The drugs are brought en masse to Germany and then smuggled further east through Warsaw, Lublin, and then up to Ukraine, and finally to Russia, where the greatest profits are made. These kinds of incidents have only grown in frequency these past few decades. The Weltkrieg left thousands of veterans addicted to substances such as morphine, ether, and cocaine, gifts of the German chemical industry. Even though we are now more aware of the serious addiction threats posed by these drugs, their usage has only grown. No more reduced to veterans, especially ether, and its derivative Hoffman's drops. They have turned to be popular recreational drugs, used by people from my society to the poor workers. This makes the problem hard to solve. Many of the criminals are wealthy people, owning their warehouses, buying cheap drugs from Germany, and selling them further east. Well, good work, officers. We got more options for decisions. We could seize more assets potentially, but Belgium is declaring independence. A friend of the channel, Belgium. Been a long time since I played them, but I can see they're doing. Well, let's not say they're doing okay yet. Perhaps most of the wage trial in both Polands began earlier today as a man named Adam Dobosnicki was brought before the courthouse of Krakow. A radical nationalist activist of OWP of just 22 years of age, Dobosnicki had built himself a budding cult of personality in the Polish far right. His calm demeanor betrayed the fiery orator of his speeches and pamphlets, shared widely by Polish nationalist circles. He declared himself to be a follower of the Third Way, children of the age betrayed both by capitalism and socialism. He preached for the great nation, for the purification of its soul with Christian principles, morality, and goodness of human nature. And today he admitted all his guilt. Yes, he was the one responsible for the raid on Mislink. Yes, he'd organized a group of militia and attacked the Jews. And what quickly made him legendary, he had given himself up to the police after only a few days of hiding. His actions were not an anarchist coup, Dobosnicki argued, but rather simply a political demonstration. Whether due to his actual popular support or from fear of his far right, the jury acquitted Dobosnicki of all charges, stating that he acted under conditions of higher necessity. Dobosnicki's freedom did not last. The ruling was overturned by the Appellate Tribunal in Lemberg. The second hearing in Imperial Court found Dobosnicki guilty of instigating an armed attack against the police, organizing an insurrection, illegal possession of firearms, and unlawful destruction of property. Rather than sentencing Dobosnicki to decades of imprisonment, the judge gave in to the ever-growing sympathetic crowds demanding Dobosnicki's freedoms. In the end, he was tried for merely one crime: illegal handling of firearms. Radicals like him are a threat to the nation. Notice a few parallels between him and a certain Austrian figure in our own timeline. I don't know if I want to mention his name. Oh, okay. Well, we can go ahead and do the 4-year plan. The second 4-year plan, rather. Well, the first 4-year plan may not have been a perfect economic policy. The positive effects of the plan are undeniable. Facing another period of industrial and economic decline, many within the government wish to embark on a second plan, hoping to recapture some of the magic of the first. This will set lofty industrial targets for our nation to reach, but should it succeed, it will pave the way for a new prosperous time for the Polish industry. Rock import support is very high, actually. So if I want to go syndicalist, I might need to do something different soon. Oh no! That fucking sucks for Kamal. I mean to eventually play the Ottoman Empire. I'll read this event. Today, Poland celebrates the 20th anniversary of the Act of the 5th of November 1916, which first defined the Kingdom of Poland and its modern form. After the declaration, the Provisional Council of State was created to organize the public life of newborn Poland, with Josip Pilsudski leading the military arm. As one of the Central Powers, Poland fought for its liberty from the Russian Empire. The initial choice of the 5th of November as a national day was controversial, as it focuses on how the Kingdom of Poland exists today because Germany and Austria allowed it to. But as the years have gone by, the day has changed into an actual national celebration that try to focus on Poland's struggle for liberty against Russia and commemorates the earlier anti-Russian uprisings. Long live August the 4th and the peace. Whether that peace will live for much longer, we'll have to wait till next time to find out, because I gotta end it here. Thanks so much for watching, folks, though. If you like this video, leave a like. If not, feel free to dislike. If you're having comments, feedback, and certainly leave it in the comment section below. I read all comments, get appreciate any feedback you might have for me. If you want to keep up to date with uploads, hit the sub button. Hit the notification bell if you really want to. I have uploads going up weekdays as well as occasionally Saturdays. Check out the various links down in the description box below, and that's about it for now, friends. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye now.